I want you to understand something so profoundly that it reshapes every corner of your being. The universe responds not to the wishes you whisper timidly in the night, but to the unshakable conviction that you are already the embodiment of what you desire. Every thought, every feeling, every notion that you entertain carries within it the magnetic force that will draw toward you the circumstances, people, and opportunities that reflect it. To force yourself to be consistent is not an act of stubbornness. It is the declaration to the universe that you will no longer negotiate with doubt, fear, or hesitation. You must recognize that consistency is the conduit through which your inner vision manifests outwardly, the invisible bridge upon which the power of the unseen walks into your life as tangible reality. The moment you commit without reservation to the truth of your inner being, the world bends to align itself with that truth. It is not the outer world that dictates what you receive, but the unrelenting focus and unwavering belief you cultivate within. Picture for a moment the mind as a fertile field. Every seed of thought you plant, whether of hope, gratitude, faith, or fear, will grow to full fruition. Yet the field does not distinguish between that which serves you and that which diminishes you. It merely obeys the law of growth. Therefore, consistency in cultivating thought, in nourishing the mind with that which is true, that which is good, that which reflects the life you are determined to live, is the highest form of creative discipline. When you wake in the morning, do not allow the first impulses of doubt or worry to touch your mind. Instead, rise and declare, silently or aloud, the reality that you are crafting with your inner consciousness. See yourself already living the life you desire. Feel it, breathe it, and let every action, every intention, every word reflect that truth. The universe is not passive, it is an intricate mirror, echoing back exactly what you project, amplified by the consistency with which you maintain your inner vision. There is a subtle, almost imperceptible language that flows between your mind and the infinite. It is not spoken in words, but in vibrations, in the steady hum of belief and expectation. When you persist in the understanding that you are deserving of the abundance, the love, the joy, the opportunities that your heart longs for, you are sending a signal so clear, so precise, that it cannot be ignored. Your telepathic connection with the universe is activated in these moments of unwavering faith. Do not be fooled into thinking that fleeting hope or occasional desire is sufficient. It is the relentless consistency, the refusal to waver in thought or feeling, that commands the law of manifestation to act. Every act of patience, every repetition of belief, every refusal to entertain contradiction strengthens the invisible current that will carry your intentions from the realm of thought into the world of form. You may ask yourself, why is consistency so vital? Why must I not yield to the impulses of discouragement or distraction? The answer lies in the nature of your creative power. The mind is like a magnet, and every thought you hold consistently is a magnetic pole attracting its likeness. Inconsistency dilutes this power. Wavering thoughts confuse the law. When you force yourself to be consistent, you become a lighthouse in the storm, a fixed point in the sea of possibility that the universe cannot help but navigate toward. Imagine now the vastness of the cosmos, not as something remote, but as a living extension of your own inner consciousness. Every star, every planetary orbit, every unseen force operates in perfect harmony, unceasingly, consistently, without question. Can you see that your mind, aligned with this principle, is just as powerful? That the same law that governs the heavens is at work within you, waiting only for your attention and deliberate consistency to unleash its full power? You are not a passive observer of life. You are the unseen architect of every circumstance, the invisible author of every event. Yet so many go through existence with scattered thoughts, allowing doubt, fear, and hesitation to dictate outcomes. You cannot afford such carelessness if you truly desire to master the creative forces within you. Each day, each hour, each moment presents an opportunity to reinforce your vision. Speak to yourself not in language of lack, limitation, or fear, but in the language of certainty, abundance, and divine expectation. Feel the reality of your desires as if it were already accomplished. Let your emotions, your imagination, and your focus be unwavering. This is the discipline of the mind, the cultivation of a soul aligned with the universal rhythm, the conscious dance with the infinite forces of life that will manifest every dream with precision when consistency is maintained. Consider now the power of intention amplified by clarity and persistence. When your mind is steadfast, when your purpose is unwavering, the universe moves in your favor. Opportunities appear not by chance, but because your inner world has drawn them to you. Like a river flowing to the sea, your thoughts, held consistently, create a current so strong that resistance cannot stand. Even the seemingly impossible becomes inevitable. But remember, it is not the desire alone that commands reality. It is the deliberate and repeated alignment of thought, emotion, and belief with the reality you wish to experience. Do not underestimate this principle. Those who achieve extraordinary success, profound joy, or remarkable transformation are not always more talented or more fortunate. They are simply more consistent. They maintain the internal vision, the inner conversation, the telepathic dialogue with the universe, even when outer circumstances suggest otherwise. Every morning when you awaken, set your mind deliberately upon the good, the prosperous, the fulfilling. Imagine the life you want as though it is already yours. Do not allow fleeting doubt or external influence to sway your internal state. The universe measures not the magnitude of your desire but the constancy of your belief. Think of your mind as a garden, your thoughts as seeds, and your feelings as the sunlight and water. Plant diligently, water consistently, and watch as your inner landscape transforms into the reflection of your highest aspirations. Do not waste energy on negative speculation or worry. Every moment spent in contradiction of your vision is a moment that weakens the law at work within you. Every moment spent in deliberate, consistent thought strengthens it beyond measure. There is another element, often overlooked, the power of silent expectation. This is not loud proclamation or frantic action. It is a quiet, unwavering knowledge that what you intend is already moving toward you. It is a state of mind where doubt cannot enter, for you understand that the forces of creation are as faithful and precise as the laws of nature. The universe does not hurry, but it never fails. When you practice consistent, focused thought, you are engaging in a form of communication with the infinite that transcends words, surpasses understanding, and moves in absolute harmony with the law. Your desires, your dreams, your visions are not fantasies. They are truths waiting for consistent acknowledgement in your mind and heart. Even obstacles, even moments of difficulty, are not contrary to your success. They are but markers, indicators that your inner focus is being refined, that your telepathic signal with the universe is being strengthened. Consistency is the force that allows you to remain steadfast amid apparent opposition, to continue believing when the external world suggests otherwise. To force yourself to be consistent is to rise above the fleeting fluctuations of circumstance and recognize that your inner world determines the outer world. You are not at the mercy of events. Events are at the mercy of your mind. The universe responds with precision to the clarity, intensity, and unbroken persistence of your inner convictions. So, imagine now yourself in a state of perfect alignment. Every thought is harmonious. Every feeling is purposeful. Every intention unwavering. You are a force of nature, a magnet drawing all that is yours. You do not question, you do not hesitate, you do not falter. You act, think, and feel as though the life you desire is already a living reality. You are not waiting for proof. Proof emerges in response to your internal certainty. This is the path of mastery, the road less traveled by those who succumb to distraction or doubt. Here lies the secret power. The world obeys the one who obeys themselves, the one who consistently aligns thought, feeling, and belief with their highest vision. Now, consider the vast and limitless nature of your mind as a conduit of creation. Every thought you entertain is a note in the symphony of your life. When these notes are discordant, when your beliefs fluctuate between hope and fear, your life reflects the chaos of inconsistency. But when you force yourself to be consistent, when you align your thoughts with the clarity of your vision, your life becomes a harmonious composition, orchestrated perfectly by the universal intelligence that governs all. It is not enough to occasionally think positively or occasionally imagine your desires. The universe does not respond to fleeting impulses. It responds to constancy, to persistence, to the unbroken affirmation of your inner reality. The moment you decide that your life will reflect your highest intention and refuse to waver, that is the moment you activate forces beyond ordinary comprehension. Every atom of your being resonates with the truth you hold, and the unseen world mirrors it back with astonishing fidelity. Do not be deceived by appearances. Outer circumstances are but reflections of inner states. The world may seem chaotic, filled with opposition and challenge, but these are mere mirrors showing where your inner focus has wandered. To force yourself to be consistent is to master your inner world so thoroughly that external conditions no longer dictate your state of being. You learn to see beyond the surface, to perceive the invisible threads connecting your thoughts with reality. Every desire, every vision, every aspiration begins first as an imperceptible vibration within. You, and only you, have the power to sustain that vibration until it manifests in form. There is no power greater than this, no force more precise than the consistent attention of a focused mind. Let me remind you of something extraordinary. Your mind is not limited to ordinary perception. It is a living, telepathic instrument, capable of reaching across dimensions of time, space, and circumstance. When you maintain consistent thought, you are, in essence, communicating with the very fabric of existence. You are issuing commands, sending vibrations, directing energies that are unseen yet responsive. There is a rhythm, a cadence to the universe that waits for your alignment. When your thoughts, words, and actions are unified, when you refuse to allow contradiction to enter, you become a resonance that the universe cannot ignore. You are no longer reacting to life, you are creating it. You are no longer chasing what you want, you are attracting it effortlessly because your internal state has become magnetic. Consistency, then, is not merely habit, it is a spiritual discipline, a declaration of authority over your own life. When you refuse to waver, when you sustain belief in the face of uncertainty, you are exercising the ultimate power, mastery over thought. Each repetition, each reaffirmation of your truth strengthens the unseen current that carries your intentions to manifestation. Doubt, fear, distraction, they are the enemies not of circumstance, but of your creative alignment. Eliminate them internally, and you change the external world effortlessly. Every moment you spend in unwavering faith is an investment in the inevitable. Every action taken from that place of certainty multiplies in power. There is nothing haphazard, nothing accidental about it. The law of manifestation operates like clockwork for the consistent, but chaos reigns for the wavering. You must also understand the role of emotion in this process. Thought without feeling is like seed without soil. Feeling without thought is like soil without seed. The combination of clear, consistent thought and powerful, aligned feeling is the furnace in which creation is forged. When you feel the reality of your desire as though it already exists, you are creating a vibrational blueprint that cannot fail. The universe responds not to wishes, but to the substance of your inner life. Consistency in thought, consistency in emotional alignment, consistency in expectation. These are the pillars of creation. Anything less is a compromise, and compromise is the language of limitation. Many falter because they mistake hope for faith. Hope is a spark, faith is a flame. Hope can flicker, faith endures. Consistency transforms hope into faith. It strengthens the invisible muscles of belief so that no external challenge can extinguish the light of your inner certainty. This is where most people fail. They allow the first sign of difficulty to erode their focus. But the individual who practices unwavering consistency sees obstacles as temporary ripples, as mere reflections, as opportunities to reaffirm the truth of their inner vision. The law does not punish, it responds. When you maintain consistent thought and feeling, your outer circumstances begin to align in perfect harmony with the inner reality you have cultivated. Visualize now your life as a magnet. Every thought, every belief, every emotion is a pole. Inconsistency causes the magnet to wobble, to attract sporadically, to repel what is needed. Consistency, however, stabilizes the magnetic field. The pole of your inner reality becomes steady, powerful, irresistible. What you desire begins to appear with effortless timing, with astonishing precision. because the universe responds to magnetic fields, not to fleeting impulses. The moment you master your internal alignment, the world conforms naturally, miraculously, inevitably. You become a beacon of attraction. Every individual, opportunity, and circumstance that is aligned with your inner reality is drawn as naturally as iron filings to a magnet. Do not neglect the quiet power of thought unspoken. Words are the audible vibration of your inner world, but thoughts themselves carry immense energy. The mind communicates across the unseen channels of the universe continuously, whether spoken or silent. Each thought you hold consistently is like a telepathic command, a deliberate request to the invisible, and the universe responds with precision. It is listening, always, to the rhythm of your internal life. Your consistency is what clarifies the message, strengthens the signal, and ensures that manifestation is not merely possible, but inevitable. You are, in truth, a conscious co-creator, engaged in a sacred dialogue with forces infinitely intelligent, and your mastery of consistency determines the magnitude of the outcome. Now, let us speak of action, not frantic, uncontrolled, or hasty action, but inspired, deliberate, and consistent action. The universe does not separate thought from action. It responds to the alignment of mind, emotion, and behavior. When your actions are consistent with your vision, they become extensions of your internal reality. Every step you take from a place of unwavering belief multiplies the invisible power at work in your life. It is not movement that manifests, it is aligned movement. The consistent act, repeated with purpose and faith, becomes a force of creation, turning the unseen into tangible reality. You are both architect and builder, both conductor and instrument, both signal and response. In this sacred unity, consistency becomes not a chore, but the ultimate expression of your authority over your own life. You may wonder about the small, mundane details of life, how they fit into this grand vision. Understand this: no detail is too small for the universal law. Every thought you entertain about minor things shapes their manifestation with the same precision as your grandest desires. Consistency in thought, in feeling, in expectation is required not just for monumental changes but for the entirety of your experience. When you maintain consistent alignment in the small, the large will naturally follow. Your internal state is the blueprint, and the outer world is the reflection. Neglect the small, and the large becomes distorted. Master the small, and the large becomes effortless, inevitable, and magnificent. Finally, recognize that the power of consistent thought is contagious, radiant, and transformative. When you sustain unwavering belief, you not only attract your desires, but you influence the world around you. Others respond to your vibration, unconsciously aligning with the energy you emit. Consistency becomes a ripple effect, extending beyond your personal experience, touching lives, and amplifying the power of creation. In this way, your commitment to persistent, unwavering thought, feeling, and action becomes both personal mastery and universal influence. You are, in every moment, shaping the reality not just for yourself, but for all who come into your sphere of influence, through the invisible law of alignment. Let us now delve even deeper into the principle of unbroken alignment, for here lies the secret few truly grasp. Every vibration you emit, every inner conviction you maintain consistently, reverberates across the subtle realms, attracting its likeness with unerring precision. You are not separate from this unseen world, you are intimately woven into it, a co-creator whose mind is a powerful instrument of manifestation. The moment you refuse to waver in thought, feeling, and expectation, you become a signal of such clarity that the universe cannot help but respond. It moves, conspires, and arranges in ways often imperceptible to the ordinary mind, yet every movement is calculated to bring your internal reality into form. Understand this: consistency is not mere repetition, it is the sustained, deliberate projection of a single, unshakable truth. It is the hammer with which you shape your destiny, the steady flame that ignites all possibilities into actuality. Many mistake effort for power. They believe that labor, hustle, and frantic striving are what bring results. But effort without alignment is like rowing against a strong current. It expends energy without producing movement. True power arises from the alignment of thought, feeling, and expectation maintained with absolute consistency. Action flows naturally from this state. It is not forced, it is inspired. The consistent mind, unwavering in its vision, naturally produces the steps that carry its desires into manifestation. Even the most intricate challenges dissolve when met with this steady inner authority. The universe does not resist. It merely waits for the signal of certainty. Once the signal is established, forces unseen, opportunities unforeseen, and people perfectly aligned will move to fulfill your inner vision. This is the secret of effortless creation. Consistency in the internal realm produces inevitability in the external. Think, for a moment, of the lives of those who have achieved remarkable success, profound fulfillment, and extraordinary influence. What separates them from those who struggle is rarely talent, luck, or circumstance. It is their refusal to waver. They have disciplined the mind to hold the vision without contradiction, to sustain belief even in the face of apparent impossibility, and to act with inspired alignment. They understand the invisible language of the universe, the telepathic transmission of thought, feeling, and expectation, and they maintain it consistently. You too can harness this power. Every day, every moment, every thought becomes a step on the ladder of creation. The more consistent you are, the higher you climb until the summit of your vision stands before you, tangible, undeniable, inevitable. Consistency also transforms fear into fuel. Fear is nothing but doubt in motion, an inconsistency of thought and feeling that clouds the mind and disturbs the current of manifestation. But when you hold firm, when you align your thought and feeling with certainty, fear dissolves, powerless against the force of your unwavering conviction. You do not battle fear, you replace it with the higher vibration of certainty. You do not wish for results, you assume them, knowing that the law of manifestation is exact and reliable. Every repetition of doubt weakens your creative signal. Every repetition of belief strengthens it beyond measure. This is why you must force yourself to be consistent, even when circumstances tempt you to falter. Consistency is the crucible in which your creative power is purified, the forge that transforms vision into reality. Your imagination is a sacred instrument. It is not fantasy, it is the blueprint of what is to come. When exercised consistently, it creates vibrational patterns that the universe cannot ignore. Visualize your desires in detail, feel them as accomplished, and hold this state without contradiction. Allow no thought of limitation to enter, no whisper of uncertainty to linger. The universe responds to the clarity of your inner signal. Every detail, every nuance, every emotion you attach to this vision strengthens it, magnetizes it, and prepares it for manifestation. Consistency is the engine that drives this process. The mind that vacillates produces scattered results. The mind that perseveres produces inevitable fulfillment. Now, consider the subtle yet profound truth. Your beliefs are contagious, not just in the outer world, but within your own consciousness. Every inconsistent thought, every wavering belief, every fleeting doubt creates internal friction, dissipates energy, and clouds the clarity of manifestation. Conversely, every act of steadfast belief, every repeated affirmation, every sustained expectation amplifies your internal power, creating a field of attraction so strong that reality must align. You are both the source and the magnet, both the signal and the receiver. When your mind is consistent, you are a lighthouse, steady and unshakable, casting a beam that reaches across every aspect of your life. Circumstances, people, and opportunities converge upon that beam, drawn as naturally as light bends toward the source. Even moments of delay, frustration, or apparent failure are instruments of refinement. They are signals from the universe, indicating where belief may be faltering, where consistency can be strengthened, and where focus can be sharpened. These moments are not punishment, they are calibration. When you meet them with the unwavering state of mind, you convert every challenge into an opportunity for deeper alignment. The consistent mind does not panic, it does not question, it observes, realigns, and reasserts the truth of its inner vision. Obstacles become milestones, resistance becomes a teacher, time itself bends to the rhythm of consistent thought. This is the mastery of life, to remain internally consistent, knowing that the universe mirrors your inner state with perfect fidelity. Every aspect of your life, from the smallest detail to the grandest vision, responds to this principle. Relationships, health, wealth, creativity, peace, all are influenced by the consistency with which you maintain thought and feeling. The universe does not favor the inconsistent, it aligns with the steady. Your mind is a channel through which infinite possibilities flow, and the only question is whether you will keep that channel open with unwavering discipline, or allow it to be obstructed by doubt and hesitation. The one who maintains consistent alignment experiences life as effortless, harmonious, and abundant. The one who falters experiences struggle, limitation, and disappointment. The difference is internal, invisible, and entirely within your control. Consider now the power of repetition, the sacred reinforcement of inner truth. Every morning, every evening, every moment you dedicate to reaffirming your vision, to holding the feeling of its fulfillment, you are weaving an invisible web that the universe cannot ignore. This is not ritual for ritual's sake. It is not affirmation without substance. It is the deliberate, concentrated, and persistent declaration of your inner reality, which the universe translates into form. The moment you falter, the web weakens. The moment you persist, it grows, expands, and strengthens until your desires are inevitably drawn into manifestation. There is no substitute for this kind of consistency. It is the very heartbeat of creation, the invisible law that governs all things, and the principle that separates fleeting dreams from permanent reality. Do not fear the immensity of this truth. You are capable of sustaining this alignment, of maintaining consistent thought and feeling, of creating a life of extraordinary abundance and fulfillment. The power resides entirely within you. It is not dependent on others, on circumstances, or on chance. Every act of unwavering belief, every moment of deliberate focus, every repetition of aligned thought and feeling builds an unstoppable current that carries your desires from the invisible to the visible. This is the secret of miracles, of effortless success, of the extraordinary life that is your birthright. It is available to you now, in this moment, if you will commit to the discipline of consistency, the courage of unwavering belief, and the joy of deliberate alignment with your highest vision. Now let us examine the quiet yet profound truth about the mind's infinite power. Every fleeting thought is a signal, a vibration sent into the unseen realms, shaping what is to come. Yet most humans squander this power through inconsistency, through indecision, and through yielding to doubt and distraction. Imagine a compass spinning without settling. It points nowhere, attracts nothing, and leaves the traveler lost. But when you train your mind to be consistent, when you force yourself to hold thought, feeling, and belief in perfect alignment with your desired outcome, your internal compass becomes fixed, magnetic, and irresistible. You no longer drift. You navigate the universe with precision. Every opportunity, every connection, every circumstance necessary for your manifestation is drawn to you, not by chance, but by the irresistible law of consistent alignment. Consistency is not a matter of discipline alone. It is the language through which you communicate with the infinite. The universe does not hear your words as humans do. It reads the vibration of your inner state. If your thoughts, feelings, and expectations are scattered, the signal is weak, diluted, and ineffective. If they are clear, concentrated, and unshakable, the signal becomes a command, an unambiguous decree that cannot be ignored. This is why forcing yourself to be consistent is not a suggestion. It is a necessity. It is the activation of the law of attraction in its purest form, the deliberate orchestration of unseen forces that will bring your desires into tangible reality. Consider the role of imagination in this process. Imagination is not mere fantasy. It is the blueprint of creation. The mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is real. It responds to the intensity and clarity of your inner experience. When you imagine consistently, when you feel the reality of your desires as if they are already accomplished, you are shaping the future with the precision of an artist. The universe takes this blueprint and constructs the visible world to match it. Doubt, distraction, and inconsistency, however, smear the lines of this blueprint, delay its execution, and create misalignment. This is why unwavering focus, repeated visualization, and consistent emotional alignment are the sacred instruments of manifestation. Now reflect on the extraordinary principle of expectation. Expectation is not wishful thinking. It is a state of mind that knows no contradiction, a profound trust in the unseen forces that govern life. When you combine consistent thought with unwavering expectation, you create a field of attraction that is irresistible. The universe does not argue, it mirrors. It does not negotiate, it aligns. What you expect consistently, what you feel with unwavering conviction, comes to you with exactitude. To force yourself to be consistent in expectation is to command the universe to deliver your vision with precision. It is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is not impatience, it is trust. And it is this consistent alignment, this disciplined expectation, that separates ordinary experience from extraordinary life. Let us speak now of telepathy, not as mystical conjecture, but as a natural law of the mind. Every living being emits thought and feeling, consciously or unconsciously, and every vibration interacts with the universal field. You, when consistent, emit a coherent signal that interacts with the invisible currents of life, attracting, influencing, and shaping reality in ways unseen yet undeniable. Inconsistency, by contrast, scatters your energy, sending contradictory signals, diluting the power of creation, and delaying manifestation. The consistent mind, aligned with its desires, operates as a master conductor, directing the invisible orchestra of creation to perform with flawless precision. You do not need to understand the mechanics fully. You need only maintain the discipline of consistency, the fidelity to your inner vision, and the unwavering alignment of thought, feeling, and expectation. Obstacles, resistance, and delay are not failures. They are mirrors, reflecting where inconsistency has allowed doubt, fear, or distraction to enter. They are indicators, not punishments, signaling where the internal focus must be refined, where belief must be strengthened, and where attention must be returned to the unbroken vision. When faced with challenge, the consistent mind does not waver. It observes, adjusts internally, and reasserts the truth of the inner vision. Every challenge met in this way is transformed into a stepping stone, an amplifier of the unseen power at work within you. The universe does not resist. It merely waits for the clarity of the signal to be restored. This is the ultimate mastery, to remain consistent internally, knowing that the outer world cannot contradict the sustained vibration of unwavering belief. Every action, when aligned with this principle, becomes a force multiplier. Action without alignment is struggle. Alignment without action is dormant potential. But when consistent thought, feeling, and expectation are coupled with deliberate, inspired action, the law of manifestation operates with unstoppable force. Each step taken from this state carries the energy of inevitability. Every word spoken, every decision made, every movement executed is not random. It is an extension of the internal state, a telepathic instruction to the universe, and a magnet attracting the circumstances that mirror your internal reality. This is why forcing yourself to be consistent is not only a mental exercise, it is a holistic practice, integrating mind, emotion, and action into a unified channel of creation. Now, let us examine the subtle yet transformative power of internal dialogue. The words you speak to yourself shape your beliefs, emotions, and expectations. Consistency in internal dialogue is paramount. If your thoughts contradict your vision, the law of manifestation cannot respond clearly. If your words reinforce your vision, the universe receives a coherent, powerful signal that compels alignment. Every affirmation, every internal statement of truth, every repeated declaration of alignment with your desired reality builds an invisible scaffold upon which manifestation occurs. Inconsistency weakens this scaffold. Unwavering consistency fortifies it beyond measure. You are the architect of your reality, and the structure you build within determines the life you experience without. Consider also the ripple effect of consistent alignment. Your consistent thoughts and feelings not only shape your personal reality, but influence the world around you. The energy you emit, the vibration you maintain, interacts with the energies of others, subtly shaping their responses, their actions, and even the circumstances that converge upon you. Consistency is contagious, magnetic, and transformative. When you maintain unbroken alignment, you become a beacon, attracting allies, opportunities, and synchronicities that reflect the internal state you uphold. The universe conspires with unwavering clarity to bring your vision into form, responding to the integrity of your signal with exactitude. Even the smallest moments of distraction, the slightest indulgence of doubt, or the briefest lapse in alignment can weaken the power of your creation. This is why forcing yourself to be consistent is not trivial, it is essential. Every thought, every feeling, every expectation must harmonize with the reality you intend to manifest. The universe does not distinguish between the grand and the subtle. It responds to the vibrational coherence of your inner state. Every moment of persistent, unwavering alignment strengthens the magnetic current of manifestation, making your desires inevitable, precise, and effortless. The practice of consistency is, in truth, a sacred discipline. It is not harsh or punitive, it is liberating. When you maintain alignment with your inner vision, you release the need for external validation. You rise above fear, and you step fully into the power of your own creative authority. You are no longer subject to circumstance. You are the creator of circumstance. Every repetition of consistent thought, feeling, and expectation is a brick laid in the foundation of a life of extraordinary abundance, joy, and fulfillment. You are the architect, the builder, and the magnet all at once. The universe obeys with precision because your alignment is clear, unbroken, and unwavering.